demo, we will explore data sharing between two Databricks Express accounts, enabling secure and seamless data collaboration. We will begin by configuring the necessary permission and settings in the Catalog Explorer to enable data sharing. Then, we will walk through the process of sharing a schema with a partner organization, granting access, and retrieving shared data. By the end, you will understand how to efficiently set up and manage data sharing for cross workspace and data collaboration. By the end of this demo, you will be able to configure data sharing settings in Databricks Express to enable secure cross workspace data sharing, grant appropriate permissions and privileges to users for controlled data access, share schemas and tables with external organizations using data sharing, query shared datasets using SQL within a partner Databricks Express workspace. If you would like to follow along with this demo, you will need a workspace with the Unity catalog enabled, workspace administrator capabilities. In order to follow along, ensure you meet these technical requirements. You need a serverless compute cluster. Let's start with the demo. Log into your Databricks Express account in your web browser. Now, before we start Delta sharing, we need to make sure that we enable a few settings. To do so, select the Catalog option in the left sidebar of your workspace. This will take you to your Catalog Explorer. In the Catalog Explorer, in the Navigation section, select the gear icon at the top to manage the Catalog Explorer. Now, in the Manage settings, select Metastore. This will take you to the settings page of your Metastore, and you will land in the Details tab. Select the Permissions tab. Now select Grant. A dialog box will appear on your screen. For the Principals field, type your username and select it from the drop-down. Now, we need to provide the privileges for the user. Enable the checkboxes for Use Provider, Use Recipient, and Use Share. We need these three privileges. Now, select the Grant button to continue. We have granted the required permissions to the user account on the Metastore. Let's go back to the Catalog Explorer. Select the Catalog Explorer option in the top. Now, within the Catalog Explorer, again select the gear icon and this time select Delta Sharing. We are now in the Delta Sharing page. In this page, we first need to provide an organization name. You will notice your sharing identifier ID available in the top right corner with a drop-down. Go to the drop-down at the top right corner and then select Add Organization Name. Provide a name for your organization. Let's name the organization as Databricks. Now select the Save button to save the changes. We have successfully added a name to the organization. Again, go to the Databricks drop-down at the top and this time select View Delta Sharing Settings. A dialog box will appear to enable external delta sharing. Select the radio button to enable external delta sharing. External delta sharing allows Databricks users to share data outside their organization. You can also set a duration for which you want this feature to be enabled. To enable the Set Expiration checkbox and provide the timeline as 7 days. Now, select the Save button. We have successfully enabled the external data sharing feature. Now, in order to share data between two Databricks Express workspace accounts, you need to make sure that these settings are enabled in both the accounts. Otherwise, your delta sharing feature will not work. Once you've enabled these settings in both accounts, let's proceed with the delta sharing process. Now, consider a scenario that you are an admin in your organization and there is another organization working with you on some project. They need access to one of your schemas to perform their research work. In order to do that, you need to give them access to only that schema from your catalog. So let's move to the source account. This is the source account where we need to share the data with our partner. In order to do that, first in the Delta Sharing page, select Shared by Me tab. In the Shared by Me tab, you will have two sections, Shares and Recipients. Let us set up a recipient who will access the data from your end. Now, in the Recipient section, select the New Recipient button. Provide a name for the recipient. We can name the recipient as Partner. Now you will see that there are two options, one called Databricks and one called Token. If you enable the Databricks option, then both you and your partner needs to have a valid Databricks Express Workspace account. If you do not have a Databricks Workspace account and if you're sharing it with the partner to use it with a third party tool, you need to enable the token option. In this demo, we will focus on sharing data between two Databricks Express Workspace accounts. So let's go ahead with the Databricks option. Now, you need to provide a sharing identifier. This sharing identifier is available in your Delta sharing page at the top right corner. You need to ask your partner to provide their sharing identifier in order to add them as a recipient. Once you receive the sharing identifier from your partner, copy it and paste it in the sharing identifier field. Now you can provide some comments if needed, and then select the Create button. We have successfully added our partner as a receiver in our Delta sharing page. Let's go back to the previous page. Select the Recipients option at the top. Now, move to the Shares section in the Delta sharing page. Select the Shares option. We are now supposed to share some data with the partner. In order to do that, let's go back to the Catalog Explorer. Select the Catalog Explorer at the top. Within your Catalog Explorer, navigate to the schema that you want to share with your partner. This is our schema which we want to share with the partner. We can also share individual tables with the partner if needed. Let's start sharing the schema TPCH with the partner. Within your schema, select the kebab menu at the top and select Share via Delta Sharing. A dialog box will appear to specify the sharing details. In the new dialog box, select Create a new share with the schema. Now provide a name for the share. Let's name it as Partner Schema. You can select the recipient over here or you can choose it later. Let's select our recipient from the drop down. You will see your partner recipient available in the list to select the partner recipient. Now, select the Grant Permission and Share button. We have successfully shared this schema with the partner. Now, go to the gear icon at the top in the Catalog Explorer and select Delta Sharing. In the Delta Sharing page, select Shared by Me tab. You will notice that the share is created in the Shared by Me tab. Now, let's head over to the Partners workspace. Now, we are in the Partners workspace in the Delta Sharing page. In the Shared with Me tab, you will notice the name Databricks available. This is the name of the organization from which the data was shared with the partner. Select the share named Databricks to analyze the details. Now inside the share, you will notice that partner underscore schema is shared with you. You need to create a catalog to store this schema. You will have a create catalog button. Select this button to create a catalog. Let's name this catalog as testdb. Now select the create button. We have successfully created the testdb catalog. Let's go back to our Catalog Explorer. Select the Catalog Explorer option at the top. Now, in your Catalog Explorer, you will notice that your testdb is listed under Delta Shares Receipt section. Expand the catalog and you will see your TPCH schema created here. Within this TPCH schema, you will have all the tables and volumes that were shared with you. Now, you can run an SQL query to analyze the details from one of these tables. Let us analyze the data from movies underscore bronze table. Go to the left-hand side menu and right-click on SQL Editor and open it in a new tab. Let's move to the new tab. This is our SQL Query Editor. Let us write an SQL query to fetch the details from movies underscore bronze table. Notice that we are using a 3-level namespace starting with catalog name, schema name, and then the table name. Let us run this query. We are able to fetch the details from the table and the output is visible here. This is how we do Delta sharing between two different Databricks Express workspace accounts. You can use this feature to do different types of developments based on your requirement. With this, we have come to the end of this demo. In this demo, we successfully configured Delta sharing in Databricks Express, enabling seamless data sharing between two workspaces. We walked through setting up permissions, defining recipients, sharing schemas, and retrieving shared data in a partner workspace. Finally, we executed an SQL query to analyze the shared dataset. By the end, you gain the skills to enable, configure, and use Delta sharing for secure and efficient cross-workspace data collaboration. Thanks for watching.